Even soaked your, even soaked your
Oh,
teeth.
geez.
Oh.
They're recording. Sure.
Oh.
Hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ya hey ha yo hey ya hey yo hey ha ya hey hey ya 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 hey yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ha ya
Where's that golden mic?
hey yo Fort Beck Community College Ukiepino yo me too gashi dagush kashka yogi piano yo wata pevi hagi ktabi ichachia ya bino hey yo hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ya hey yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ya yo hey ha hey yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ha hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ha ya hey yo hey yo Fort Beck Community College Ukiepino yo me too gashi dagush kashka yogi piano yo wata pevi hagi ktabi ichachia ya bino hey yo hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ya hey yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ya yo hey ya hey yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ha hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ha hey yo Fort Beck Community College Ukiepino yo me too gashi dagush kashka yogi piano yo wata pevi hagi ktabi ichachia ya bino hey yo hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ya hey yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ya yo hey ya hey yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ha hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ha ya hey hey yo hey yo Fort Peck Community College Ukiepino yo me too gashi dagush kashka yogi piano yo wata pevi hagi ktabi ichachia ya bino hey yo
How mi takuyapi, Taiwan kapi, Dakota traje, Dakodye unspemitie makupi, naku washichuya Elijah Hopkins makapi. Wana wakchinjo wakba wonspe wankantuya dechia dayan ya hipido mitakepi, Hello, relatives, and thank you for joining us today, this beautiful day on Thursday, August 26th. Thank you for joining us here on the Buffalo Chasers podcast. I'm Elijah Hopkins. I'm joined, as usual, with Dexy Earl. Dexy Tommy are both in the house. And so I would like to ask Dexy Earl if you would share a prayer with us before we get started in on our programming.
Take.
Oh.
Nato hatika tuake wa chini apina wo cheka nichapcha inyurapcha.
Oh,
Netakche he hinkte ki tukaya ilukchana. Tuake hena nie chantena naso. Eta hana yeksia ki henash na ithoka bea kagnakna. Ushik chena uchike hakin. So ithoka bea Tokashinana, Okana Kithapiana, Lila Ota, Stolapiana, Ija Chakomani et Kiap China, Ushek China, Ukewana, Ukolep China, Toakana, Zom Spechash Campiana, Ushek, Uchiket Hawana, Ukokiapie. Olea Petu. Ila mini unicha chakulila magajin wakia uzatekiuni. Sahilila he wopila thanka hecha. O nakore ona wonspe yoktash kam kiena. Wakanja lila yokpish kam kiena. Ikhata avna shkata pin. Ichichitaya awanke uyakabna. Ona lila yokpish sam. Khayam konip chake. Wopila thanka hecha. Na ocha zi yokit khapkila nako. Hecha lila. Tekhia yakab chahe ukabla zabna. Ta kukuka washteshte. Ya ichake ki wanta piena. Wopila thanka hecha. Ona kutuake hena. Omani. Tuake heshkankte ki hena. Tankola ish. En ochika he isha he ta kukunicha bukolapcha. Isha he ochika khagena hona oshimka pie. Ata kukuka washteste uyukcha. Ata kukuka shicha uyukcha. Isha uanka pie kena. Enechana ko hena. Eta wopila ta kukuka unicha beheta unspeo charte. Saet Honkashila, Asia Hele, Opela Tranka. Natiwa Hego Pithapi, Enacha, Ila Ota Unkopiapi, Ena, Nakolana, Takuyo Kitapina, Chatewa Steste, Abchako, and Unkopiapi, Nasia, Opela Tranka Hechalo. Saet Honkashila, et hate topa taka un le voce che wakara ki na ho un copia piet kashila na wale ha betu ki le ila kichita kit khapki wana akukuk awana he shkamp ki hechito ke ena ushekh chena uche ke khagna khona ena oke ye at kashila ushekh chena Ichuha chahet Honkashle, Kopia Pie, oh, Mitaki Wasta.
oh, that's a solo. Hi, Chano Chit.
Oh, Hidamaya, beautiful prayer. Again, relatives, thank you for joining us. We are at week 46 of the Buffalo Chasers podcast. As I was reflecting last week, we had a good discussion. Oh, also forgot. So before we, I want the viewers to know that if you go on our Facebook page, you follow this live video, I want you to give us a like, give us a share. If you put your name in that comment section, get your name in the hat for one of these.
Oh,
Or you get Kindle Fire tablets. So that's how you get your name in the hat. But give us, yeah, definitely a like, a share, and we'll do that week 47 drawing next week. So, but right now I want to give a announcement for the winners for the week 46. So last week's I believe was 45. So the winner of the Buffalo Chasers Society jacket is Leslie Ann. Winner. We also have a Kindle Fire up for grabs, and the winner of that is Carla Gutierrez, I believe is how you say it. Winner. Chicken dinner. Congratulations, Carla and Leslie. And again, everybody's a winner that joins the podcast, the Buffalo Chasers Society here. So you can redeem those prizes by calling 406-768-6370. Ask for Darcy. She'll hook you up, or just stop on over. But we want to get your the right size and whatnot, and your mailing address. We'll get that to you in a timely manner. So pass the reins over to you, both of you gentlemen. I know last week we had a good discussion about that workshop, that Chanchecha Gagapi workshop. Man, really got some good feedback after that podcast. So I said, could you only imagine if you were there? So what do you think?
Meditation. For sure, man. You know, I have a granddaughter that I was worried about. That was that, what do they call it? Cabo. I was worried about her. So
Yeah.
in Afghanistan, where all these people are being evacuated, she's in the Air Force. So I was worried about her. So my mind was here and there. But anyway, I found out she's working at a bigger airport to help evacuate people from a different section. So I prayed for her. So I hope prayed for all the Kichita.
Oh,
What's going on? But now, who knows what's going to happen from here? So I have concerns about that. But other than that, I feel very happy about the fact is I'm back on the old podcast. But there's a new man looking at me. Gee, I didn't recognize him at first. But anyway, there's a lot of things that's been going on, starting work, and seeing my house being organized by my son. Good job. Anyway, looking forward to continuing with this podcast. I think it's pretty neat. So now, I don't know what the on your guys' mind or have any questions, but please let us know and we'll do our best to answer them.
Shla. No, me. Oh, che, daya he. Okay, mana gli. Oh, my relatives are. I'm bet to kill me chante tawag like in a hana pe choose up a low. Oh, hey, Chajemi ta wamnisha ge doba imachapi. All my relatives, on this day, I'm going to speak to you from my heart and I offer you all my hand. My Assiniboine name is Eagle Claw, but they also refer to me as Four. So that's what I said, basically. I'd like to thank my older brother for that very beautiful prayer that he shared with us, keeping things respectful as well as we can through this virtual experience that we refer to as podcast. I just wanted to share with all of you fine people out there, Toshka here, da chod un spemiche, he's been really, really busy. So I just want to really thank him for being here with us this afternoon, because I know that his schedule, we're registering students here and we're having meetings in the faculty with the students. And we had a very beautiful student orientation yesterday, things went on. But the point that I'm making is my nephew here, he really facilitated that whole gathering in such a good way that it went well, gave us all an opportunity to kind of introduce the faculty to the students that were participating. They had, again, of course, giveaways of Apple Watches and food cards, and it all went well. And I think that that is representation of a community involved in health, in the pursuit of healthy lifestyles. And that's what a Fort Peck Community College should be doing. And of course, we got to mention AICF, who's really supported our efforts through this past year. We look forward to hopefully receiving some additional support from them if at all possible. If not, we still want to thank them for that opportunity to represent them as well. And that's the American Indian College Fund I'm speaking about. Of course, Debbie, his horse's thunder was our connector there, the one that was helping us out. That was really, really helpful. But we're looking forward to another school year. A lot of activities we're going to be involved. We're going to hook up Chie and Nietzsche Ole to help us make a drum stand and some drumsticks and all that good stuff, and kind of some land-based teachings there. Try to get him up here again as soon as we can rip him away from his students down there, because I know he's in high demand down there as well. But again, we're at a very busy time. Just wanted to acknowledge the presence of these two educators here. These are your teachers right here, Elijah Hopkins and Earl Bullhead. Elijah goes by the name of Dakota Unspe Miche, and of course Chie Nietzsche Ole. They carry the names. They carry that. They honor that and respect that perspective of natural law, and they try to live it as well as they can. They're not the biggest Indians in the bunch, but God, look at their noses. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, shut up, you big nose Indian. But no, I just wanted to let everybody know that they take a lot of time out of their own personal lives to do this presentation today. And of course, my schedule, I'm retired, so I'm somewhat flexible as it relates to my duties here at the college. So I kind of look forward to spending time with these two individuals, because they have time to kind of share with us. So just want to thank them for that. You know, we talked a little bit about a powwow last time, and of course, some of the things that it brings forward for us as First Nations people. They had some powwows this year. Personally, myself, I felt that they were a year early. They should have waited one more year, because that COVID is still out there, that enemy of our people that's going to get our old people sick and some of our young children very uncomfortable for a few days. It's not something that we should go out there and kind of proliferate amongst us, because it's not worth it, I don't think. And of course, I know that that's some people's livelihoods in respects to powwow, but I think they need to kind of hold off for a little while. There's a few powwows coming up here, like the United Tribes powwow, the Popular Indian Days powwow. That's usually a great big one here. This weekend, the Fort Kip powwow is coming on, but I can't say enough about our people, you know, utilizing the mask, wearing the mask, washing your hands, keeping a safe distance. We can't say that enough as it relates to how we kind of keep that virus in check. They're sharing with me that the Delta virus is the one that really gets out there, easily spread, even in a discussion. And you know how powwow singers, they all get around a drum, they're all sharing that same air. Oh man, that's what I'm afraid of, is one of these events becomes a super spreader, and I wouldn't like to see that happen. We've been lucky up to this point. I made a few calls with some of my relatives up north, and Onion Lake, they didn't have no new cases as a result of that powwow. They had another powwow over here. I called up there, and those guys, they contacted me. They never had no new cases, but it's just a scary time for me as it relates to the health of our people. So just be careful, I guess, is what I'm trying to share there. But with that all being said, in respects to powwow, you know, a lot of the stuff that we do in regards to natural law and just kind of that abstract learning, that experiential teaching perspective, there's ways in which we do things a little differently. You know, like they teach you how to let's say ballet. They teach you how to dance ballet, but guess what? You got to pay the teacher to teach you, right? They teach you how to play piano, but guess what? You got to pay that piano teacher to teach you how to play. But guess what? If you want to learn how to dance powwow, you learn. You just go, and somebody will take it upon themselves to teach you. We have initiations to let all the people know that, hey, this guy right here or this little girl right here, She's just now starting. So if you see her, shake her hand, welcome her into the circle, but maybe teach her a move or two or something like that. But we initiate our young people and to let the people know that they're learning how to do this, and it didn't cost them no money. The singers, they sing, and you don't have to pay somebody to teach you how to sing. You just jump in there and you help out, and you learn as you go. That abstract learning process, that's key. You didn't have to pay, okay? And then the development of your abilities and your capability as you realize your potential in those particular categories or whatever one you choose. You learn how to refine that. You learn the importance of balance. You learn the importance of poise, especially with our women. Like some of the ladies that go to beauty pageants and stuff, they have to walk around with books on their heads and stuff like that, trying to walk with a straight back and all that. Ours, they go to powwow. They learn how to achieve that sense of balance, achieve that groundedness with the Mother Earth, and achieve that poise just on their ability to spin to the heartbeat of our Mother Earth and maintain that dignity and that honor in such a respectful way as they project that dignity. Oh man, it's such a beautiful thing. But look how many times they get to do that. Look how many times they get to practice that as they participate in powwows. Nobody ever understands the educational process in powwow unless you've really actively participated in it and achieved something. And I say that because I know my older brother Nietzsche Ole, he taught many, and he'll share it with you. He taught a lot of young men how to sing. They didn't pay him. Yeah. They might have respected him, given him tobacco or something like that, but tobacco is just that respect for that opportunity to sit at the drum. And guess what? That tobacco usually goes to the drum. And so that there's no a trade-off or anything, like no bartering about that. It's just a free opportunity to develop one's character. And that educational process isn't bought or paid for, so you're not wishing to gain anything from it other than developing your own character, developing your own stature, your own poise, your posturing, all that good stuff in a very good way at no expense other than your just participation. And that's why when I announce powwows, I always share, just by you being here, you're making somebody feel good. Just your active participation, because that does make a difference. And just that, and it don't cost you any money. Just a thought that I'd throw out there. What do you guys think of that, Tushka, Chie? What do you guys think of something like that, that educational process that's involved in what we refer to as powwow, where you don't have to pay to learn how to sing, you don't have to pay to learn how to dance, you don't have to pay to get out there and get involved and dance with the best of the best. What do you guys think of that? Chie?
Well, I for myself, you triggered a memory, and things have changed for the better for all of us in the long run. But the changes that I've seen have occurred as a lot has to do with taking what we were taught as young people and putting it into the word so that they can learn the word and know the meaning of it, the honor of it. When I got my Indian name, I shared it with my students. They said, what's that? They used to give away lanterns, Coleman lanterns, where you hold the air thing on it and you pull it and you pump it. And it had high test gas in it. And it had little mantles, they call them socks in there, they look like socks. And there was a procedure in doing that, And so when I stood in the front and they sang my name and they walked me through the circle in the dance hall, song was sung. And I remember that name, Nietzsche Ole, being said. All those men that sang those songs are not with us anymore.
Yeah.
So I think back about that and say how powerful that was for me to have that memory. But the single word that came out of the whole experience was every time a lantern was given to elderly people, they would come up, the missus and the mister would come up and they would shake my hand. And the first word they would say was, "Balahich ayo."
Oh,
And they would shake my hand. And so not really fully understand what that meant at that time, I was thinking, I wonder what they meant by that. And so the next person that got a lantern, and there was lots of them that was given away. My father gave a lot of lanterns to all the people in the community that needed it. And so the next person would say the same thing. Hey, Akosha, Balahich ayo.
oh,
And I said, no, there's another one, you know, where are they saying that, you know?
Yeah.
And then another person comes up, the Kushi or grandma, she said, oh, Hakoja Lila, oh, Pila Chiche. She said, Lahichi aye. I said, well, that sounds a little different, but it's the same word again. So the presence and usage of the ongoing physical activity incorporated by one word is a powerful experience. And what it really means is to humble yourself. You know, you go from what this experience is and go around, hey, I got my Indian name. Or you go around, hey, you know, it's here, you know. It keeps you humble, you know. And so the word itself is a guiding way in which to make you realize that you have to also be humble, you know. It's part of who we are. So I get a kick out because even a couple of generations from where we're at, as far as age, they've never seen a Coleman lantern either. You know, it's all battery now, you know, and how we learned how precious kerosene was, you know, and how we used it to coagulate blood when you got a cut, you know, things like that people haven't passed on to each other. But we have as elderly, and that was hard to admit, of course, you know. We stayed 39 years old for 6 years, you know. You don't want to get old, you know. It brings on responsibility until you learn the word, you know.
Oh.
Blossoming in wisdom from your life's experiences now. Share it, you know. That's our role now. You know, so oftentimes we kind of forget about little tiny things and saying, I said, it's easier to slip into English to try to explain something when in reality, we got to stick with the language. The more we speak the language, the more it's going to spread.
Oh,
Even though it started out with one word, you know,
oh,
it'll continue. So anyway, but back to the powwows. What I remember the powwows is when I first inquired about it, asking my grandma and asking my auntie, where did that come from? She said they used to have a procession, they had all these different societies, Badger Society, Fox Society, Chihuahua, you know, White Horse Society. They all had age groups and had those societies. And so when they had a doings, they came in by stature, as them representing the village, who they were in their community, and how, you know, so they came in by stature, meaning that whoever's had has experienced all the values that we put upon them, bravery, generosity. People recognize them, you know, and without even saying a word, you know that they're there because they have developed into the honor of being able to stand in this line and come in dancing, you know. So it's very, very unique to go back and think of now, as they said, well, what about their outfits? He said they were adorn themselves. They would make ornaments out of grass just for that event, you know, and they would attach them to themselves, sheaths and circles and stuff like that. And they'd start adapting to the bells from wagons. They had leather from the harnesses, and they start adapting their regalia, you know. And then the first beginnings of that was everything was porcupine quills, you know, how they started utilizing them, and then the shells, and the time and effort to make all this stuff for the regalia. You know, this is very, very unique how they made all that stuff. I mean, they had shells that come from the West Coast. How did we get them way out here in South Dakota? You know, they were trade items at one time. You know, all the background and history that goes along with it is what we teach. You know, where do you think those came from? One lady, she said, "Early, are you still chewing tobacco?" "Yeah, I'm trying to quit smoking." And she said, "Well, could you save them for my granddaughter? She wants a jingle dress." You know, so they make observations. So here I am saving cans that was eventually going to have to deal with cancer, you know.
Yeah.
But they adapt, you know. Now you can just purchase them, no problem. But what I'm trying to say is that when you watch and see the changes that have occurred, have gone on, there are a lot of the practices and efforts that are still going on. And one of them is language. The language is such a significant thing. 48 Celebration was a guy that I grew up with. He did the whole giveaway, or the speaking for Yapahai, for that family, all in Lakota, and it was very enjoyable.
Oh,
But I knew there were a lot of people that didn't understand. But for those of us who are at that age, you know, we understood what they were saying. So we passed it on. This is what he said. This is what he's talking about. And so people gather and say, "Do you understand what he's talking about?" I said, "Yeah, this is what he said." "What does he mean by that?" "Oh, this is what he means." You know, so the language being prominent enough, so those of us who understand it and can be Ieskas, we need to practice that. Extend it so that they understand, you know. Oftentimes that doesn't take place. So, oh, the donkey was, and everybody sits down. Well, my donkey isn't fat, you know. So anyway, those changes is I always think about when I go to places and watch. Can't sit very long anymore. Got to bring my own chair, bring a cushion, you know. Just can't sit there long anymore. So you come to that realization and you look back and say, I've been there, we've done that. We've done the best that we can, so we can have a harmonious and be harmonic with all that stuff about what we've done already. And look at the years that have gone by so fast, you know. And you mentioned learning singing on the drum. There's always exceptions to the rule. When he sang it to us in Cannonball, he couldn't keep beat. He said, "This guy's partly Ktongi, man. Where's he from, you know?" That was you. Trying to sing it. I was like, where's this guy? But those are fun times, you know. Memories we'll never forget, you know. Yeah. And those are the good times, you know. And we have them in our hearts and in our minds, and to share them and to let people know, you know, hey, life is good, you know. My biggest concern right now in our reservation here, we have some cases in our districts with, and it didn't come from our people, it came from people from the outside. These truckers brought these trucks of wheat to get processed at this new place in McLaughlin. There was like over 30 some of them that were positive. It's coming down, it came down a bit, but they were bringing it in. So you wouldn't realize it at the time and everybody relaxed, but there it was. Now they got 17 cases in McLaughlin.
good job, man.
You know? Yeah. So it comes in from the outside.
Yeah.
And then the other aspect of it is that they keep telling us, you know, if you're vaccinated, you have a better opportunity or a better chance to fight the disease. And so don't be afraid, you know, go get vaccinated. And when that booster comes along, it's 97% guaranteed to boost your immune system. Get it, don't be afraid, you know, because that's the only way it's going to come about where it's going to be neutralized. There's like 100,000 people right now that are hospitalized in the United States. Pretty scary stuff. But communicate, tell each other, encourage each other to don't be afraid, go get the shot, Don't be afraid. Conquer the fear, because somewhere it came from someplace, so many places in your minds, fear of the needles. So anyway, so much change and things that I see in the classroom. I just come home every day and I burn a little sage, and I don't smoke, so I burn a little sage and sit down and be thankful for the day, and I made it through the day. When I was younger, that was nothing. I'd do something else after work, But now, getting older, you start thinking about those things. If I do this, it helps me relax and helps me get me back in the right frame of mind to continue. And it's now a struggle. Can't even put a basketball over the hoop and I don't get,
It's your
Can't
little
even
brother
say-
anyway.
Yeah, can't even sing high anymore, But, we need to, at the beginning of this podcast, I was watching it. Well, that song's being sung by Robert. You should be showing pictures of that drum in the background on that presentation. That'd be cool.
Well, there you go.
With the technology.
Sure stuff.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Ishtima akacheche.
Why not kick that? Take that.
But I thought of that when I was watching it.
Oh, that's it.
The hard work that went into it, because it was, It was very, very, how would you say? It was an effort there that students participated in and enjoyed,
Yeah.
That was awesome. And it wasn't just because there was an incident that happened there that just, I thought made it so special.
Yeah.
Here's a book that was written in Minnesota, and here's a guy living there from Cheyenne. Cheyenne, his grandfather's name is in that book.
It's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. I like that all over. What are you drinking? Sugar.
Mountain Dew.
Manila, right here, man. Get real life.
I'm a contemporary Indian. I gotta have my Mountain Dew, my sugar. The bugs get mad at me when I don't drink sugar. Joshka, Agnago Kashni. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, shoot.
he's
I don't know
down.
why I'm silly today, Chris.
Yeah.
Kind of feeling hot all the time here. Skincha. They say.
What's that?
Like to getting into yourself and skincha.
Oh,
Be happy,
oh, that's it. I could do that.
Anyway, this week has gone so smooth. This school days has gone for just smooth for me, but I can feel the how would you call it, the wears you out,
Yeah,
I can feel it at the end of this day.
Yeah.
We have a busy schedule because we're increasing because we have to get more involved with the students.
Yeah.
We're gonna take more time with the students,
yeah, we had
which is a good idea.
good orientation yesterday with the students. Oh, shit, I like that. Those guy here, he
Yeah.
really made it work, eh? Really brought it together.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. What about you now? You back at work now?
Yeah, this is the second week. My former students look at me and say, "What happened to you?" I'm still here. You don't look the same, Mr. Bullitt.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's
curious.
that's what happened to me at Denver March Powwow when they had Albert pray, eh? Oh, I just embarrassed myself because, well, he was quite ill at that time, eh? And I looked down and I didn't recognize it. They used to it. He said, "Oh, Tommy, I'm Albert." Oh man, I just felt bad. They called him up there to pray, eh? But he was this.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him. Oh, that's the last time I seen him.
Yeah,
Oh man, he was.
I used to enjoy his company.
Yeah.
I
Testing,
go
testing.
to his house and visit. But things are still going on.
Yeah.
We've decided to go
Still going.
from the social the social need to dance and sing is still out there, so they're going.
Yeah, for sure.
We are making efforts to get to Belcourt, Turtle Mountain.
You going up
Labor Day
there?
weekend.
You going up
Making
there?
every effort. Yeah, I made a commitment. We submitted a bid. So now I'm trying to get up there.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Toshka, Dokeshka.
Things all right.
Yeah, I'm
Where's
good
he
now.
at?
I'm
Oh.
good. Had to switch out my mic and my headset, so it shut off on me. But Wahi, Wagui.
Oh, that's it too. Oh,
There's a kind of a little vibration going on sometimes when you talk. Like it's an internal thing in the sound audio. A
Oh.
gurgling sound like.
Still?
It's never happened before, but
Oh, I'll do it after the podcast. I'll have to test all my equipment. So I apologize to the viewership here for technical difficulties. We're always having to battle through, but
it's always something, yeah. But how are we doing?
but Toshka, I just wanted to ask you, what do you think about that educational process from that abstract perspective as it relates to that form of an epistemology in regards to a different kind of a pedagogy that's presented? People need to, you apply it with these new words so that they can understand it, but at the same time, recognize that there is an educational process over here. We just do it differently. What do you think of that, Tushka?
Well, one of the things, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, Earl.
Well, one of the things I've learned about sharing or explaining words is that a lot has to do with the physical gesturing, Say, you see a child coming in, you said, or Ochicha, or Iwogula, and a lot has to do with the gestures that we make with our face, our expressions.
Yeah.
You just stood our stoicism like this and said, it's not the same,
Oh,
But anyway, on that subject that you're talking about, I kind of went halfway with you, but what specifically did you mean?
well,
Pedagogy, and you went somewhere
the,
doing things
the,
that
ma-
that I can't even.
the manner in which it's taught, just because it's not
Oh, yeah.
linear teaching, we do it differently in respects to the way the presentation is done, how we do it, and why we do it. That's what I'm saying when they utilize like epistemology, pedagogy.
Well, for what?
Yeah.
From the project that we were in, this first thing that we saw was teamwork,
Yeah,
working
yeah,
together naturally,
yeah,
enjoying it, and it became an event that was, to me, I didn't see no feelings or nothing like that. It was all just one big, how would you call it? Something I'll never forget,
Yeah.
things that was happening because, so first timers, they did really well, man.
Yeah.
Even staining it, I never would have thought of it at that time. So I was kind of a bit surprised, but I said, yeah, that's good, man. It's all right, And then having other people help us that have not even the class, that's awesome too,
bringing them all together. Yeah.
Yeah. So they all learn together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I seen something, teepee making, rising teepees, putting teepees together. These women, it's a contest. I think it was at Crow.
Yeah.
Those women worked hard, man. They got it up in no time, man.
Well, did you notice they put 4 poles together when they put theirs up, they put 4. And then the poles, they put them up just to cheeks, wherever. Did you notice that?
Yeah, no, I was trying looking at the other ones, see how far behind they were. Catch up. And I enjoy activities, and these kids enjoy activities like that. So the process for me would be, the next step is that we learn about elasticity of hides, which one is going to be the best thing for this sound, keeping measurements, keeping notes, and the depth of how deep the skin is on when it's on there, to type it. So we got close to that. We talked a little bit about it, but the actual stretching the hide, I'm saying, you can see it,
Yeah.
and getting close to Shwala, they call it, getting close to the point where
Yeah.
you really have to pay close attention, because if you go beyond that elasticity, the hide's no good no more. It'll just stay blasca.
Oh. It's flat.
So all those little experience things that we have learned through the hard ways, because we learned that, we can share and say, hey, I know this much now,
Yeah.
this is what to watch out for.
Yeah.
Even down to the screws,
Yeah.
Years ago, the nails weren't screws. They had a square head that tapered down into the wood, and that's what they used.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have these power saws. They had to use a hand saw. Gee.
Well, that's why we went so quick, because we had it right
Yeah.
there in that shop, eh? Everything was right there.
Yeah.
I thought it really went well.
That was a good place to have it. That was good thinking. I watched it over, yeah. So anyway, this old man, old Lakota man, he had this beautiful looking horse. Awesome horse. Well, it was beautiful. Everybody liked that. A good looking horse. But this Washichu guy, he go over there and he wanted to buy it. But the old man, yeah. He said, yeah. Wayang station. He said,
Yeah, it didn't look good.
Ishta Wayang station. He said, he don't look good, he don't look good. But everybody else beautiful. He said, he said, I'll give you this much. He ain't no here. He said, so yeah, time after time that rancher. Finally, the old man got tired of it. So Washichu guy came over. He sold it to him. Kept telling him the horse him not look good, Lakota. Pretty soon that Washichu guy brought that horse back in here. He said, hey, this horse is blind. So the old man, he said, I told you, him not look good. He said,
Not look good. Well, he didn't
those are the kind of
understand
stories
it.
that,
Yeah.
yeah,
Those
those are the kind of stories that, yeah, the
Yeah.
interpretation that got mixed up. But these are the stories that I used to hear my uncles tell each other. Whoa, my battery's running out.
We're just about done anyway, Chie. Oh, toast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we're about at the top of the hour anyway, but yeah, that was good time. I definitely will remember that workshop and both these gentlemen and the energy that they brought to that workshop. And last week we talked a little bit about it, but actually Tommy always likes to joke around, and then they're kind of razzing each other. Actually Earl, and we all got a kick out of that experience, adding to it while we were learning experientially with that epistemology, the pedagogy. We indigenized the pedagogy, as they say, Gabdo. So we really enjoyed that. And then we threw in some ceremonial things on the side. My daughter got a name, I got a Dakota name. And so that was always really added to that experience. It was a part of it. And so that's how I always look at that. So again, I thank both of you gentlemen for sharing with us. I thank the viewership for supporting our podcast, and all the individuals that fund us to make this possible. And so continue to join this journey with us on the Buffalo Chasers podcast every week. And we're about ready to start our semester next week. So all of our students wish you the best for this semester, and continue to join us for the virtual talking circles. If you're a student, you'll get that link through your student email. So check that. We have a lot of different activities almost every day of the week. Monday is Smudge Monday and pancakes. Wow. Gee, that's going to be good. And then we got on Fridays, Fry Bread Fridays.
Yeah.
So man, we're throwing everything at our students to try and keep them here because we know academics can be challenging. But with our Buffalo Chaser Society and all our different student supports, we want to help you out as much as we can. So for now, relatives, we'll see you next week. Doksta kewa cheka piktedo. Petu washte you hapo.
Oh,
Hey, Mr.
oh.
hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ya hey ha yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ya ya hey ya hey ha yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya 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 hey ha yo hey yo hey yo Fort Beck Community College Uki Ebino yo yo me too gashi dagush kashka yogi piano yo yo wata pevi agik tabi ihaji ya bino hey yo hey yo